If you feel sleepy, what do you name? Tiredness, sleepiness, drowsiness. If you feel bored, what do you name? Boredom. Right? So to some of you this might seem like kindergarten, but it is very subtle. There are not only the states that come up right now, there are also deeper states. For example, many people carry in them a certain hopelessness as an underlying state, and they're not even aware of the state, and yet the state of hopelessness is driving them to some extent. Some people carry an underlying state of disappointment and do not recognize that state of disappointment. They never name it, and therefore the disappointment begins to tinge all the other things. Some people carry in them a state of despair, a state of, what you said, depression. And when it comes to that, then usually one starts to be aware of it, because that's the end of the spectrum. So the clearer we understand the states that underlie, they're like layers. They're like layers. Up here are the common states, like hunger, what we just said. The ones that can be immediately recognized. They're up here. But then deeper down, there are states underlying those states. And we need to identify them. We need to pinpoint them. So the underlying state of all of you right now is different. Each person's underlying state is different from the one sitting next to them. So I cannot ask you, what is the underlying state? I would have to get, I don't know how many there are, maybe 100 answers. Because each person's underlying state is different. You are the only person in the whole universe who can know your own states, your underlying state. Therefore, you have the responsibility for your state. You cannot blame others for your state. It is very tempting to say that my mother is to be blamed for my state at the present moment. It's very tempting to say that my wife is to be blamed, or that my co-worker is to be blamed. No doubt they have some role. They have a role. But the state is yours. You are the one who has that state. Therefore, you have to identify the state. It's your responsibility, nobody else's. It's very important to understand. It's your responsibility. You have to take responsibility for your states. And stop blaming the others. Stop having this almost infantile idea that others are causing the states in you. They're your states. And proof of this is that somebody who is very clear, who practices meditation, does not get as pushed back and forth by what comes at them from outside. We do not react, in the way, supposing somebody irritates a meditator, it doesn't instantly give rouse to irritation. If somebody's trying to provoke a meditator, it really doesn't. Right? It's not just a show. It's not, we're smiling and inside we're burning. It's not like that. Really, it comes and it's like absorbed into the space of awareness, because we instantly know the state it would give rise to, because we know the states. We observe the states very clearly, very, very sharply, crystal clear. So now we will do this for a moment, just about 5-6 minutes. Please, I'll slightly guide you through it, but it's your responsibility. I don't support the idea of guided meditations where you drift off into the nice voice. I don't support that, because somehow you're becoming dependent on that, and you're not taking responsibility for your state. You're allowing the speaker, to, in some sense, it's almost like a lullaby. I sing a lullaby to my son every evening. This is a Sanskrit lullaby. Shuddhosi buddhosi niranjanosi samsara-maya parivarjitosi. So I sing this lullaby. So a guided meditation should not be a lullaby, because then you become dependent on the speaker. So when I guide it, just take it as as a slight input of how you could continue. So you don't have to close your eyes. You can, but the meditation texts do not usually say you have to close your eyes, but you can. And take a few deep breaths. And now first, become aware of the states of the body and name those states. If you feel pain somewhere, in the knee or in the back, you name it as pain. If you feel comfort, you name it as comfort. If you feel some tension somewhere, you name it as tension. So for just a few, 1.5 minutes, name the states of the body very keenly, closely. Also pay attention to the sensations. Sometimes one feels like a pulsating energy, or however you want to call it, some sensations in the body. Pay attention to those and also name them. Close attention to what comes into your mind through the senses. So pay close attention to what you hear. Pay close attention to what you smell. Now pay close attention to what you taste. Pay close attention to how the skin in your body feels, the sense of touch. those whose eyes are closed, even with closed eyes, one sees little colors or some inner shapes, and you can pay close attention to that. Or those whose eyes are open, you can pay close attention just to what you're seeing in front of you. Pay close attention to all the sensing impressions together, simultaneously, what is coming through all the five senses. Pay attention at once, simultaneously. This clarity that you're sensing, this brightness, look at all the emotional states that are arising moment to moment and give them a name. Whatever comes, there's no problem. Anything can come. And then also let it go again. If you feel that you're holding on to something, become aware of the state that you're holding and name it as holding or grasping. And then let go of the state. See how your emotional states come and go. No single state stays for longer than a little while. It comes and it goes. And you name each wave that comes, you name. what is below these momentary states, the underlying states. How are you feeling overall in this phase of your life? And identify, name that state. But don't hold on to it, just name it. Don't judge it, just name it. When that state dwindles, when it dissolves a little bit, maybe there are some other states that you can also identify and name. Eventually, by naming each state, by knowing each state, you sense there's some knowing space that you are. And in this knowing space, these states are coming and going. This knowing space, a space of awareness. And also clearly see that and rest a little there. And see how the states are like waves coming and going, or like clouds coming and going. And you are like the sky in whom they come and go. Whatever state comes, you can just name it, and then the state again goes, and you are still that space, just very silent, calm space, in whom they come and go. So now, towards the end of this meditation, we consciously generate what our scriptures call Maitri. Maitri means a good heart, well-wishing feeling towards everybody, people we don't like, people we like, people we are neutral towards, and ourselves. We very consciously generate the wish, the desire, almost the prayer, we could say, may you be truly happy, may you be at ease. May you be truly happy, may you be at ease. Please evoke some people you do not really like, or some people who maybe don't like you, and wish them genuinely, may you be truly happy, may you be at ease. You too deserve happiness, no matter what you have done. now bring to mind people who are neutral, who maybe do not really know very well. You neither prefer them nor do you not like them. And again, you affirm, rather you generate Maitri. May you be truly happy, may you be at ease. Now bring to mind people whom you really like, your friends, your family, your pets, beings also. And again you wish, may you be truly happy, may you be at ease. And now you wish for yourself and for everything about you, all your states, whatever you think is good or not good about you, whatever you like about yourself, whatever you do not like about yourself, the most terrible memories you may have and the most wonderful memories you may have, and those that are neutral, you wish all of them this same Maitri. May you be truly happy, may you be at ease. Or you can say, may I be truly happy, may I be at ease. And for some this is quite difficult, because some people don't like themselves, or some people don't like certain aspects about themselves, but still we flood those aspects with the moonlight of Maitri. That is what the scriptures say, the moonlight of Maitri. The moonlight is very gentle, so we flood those states with Maitri, with this sense of may you be happy, may you be at ease, may you be free. And don't leave out anything. Don't push away any states. See yourself as one whole. No part of yourself should be excluded from this flood, this moonlight of well-wishing Maitri. And now gently watch what this does to your mind, generating this Maitri, this sense of may you be happy for all the people, those you don't like, those you are neutral towards, those whom you like, and yourself, all your states. Watch what it does to your mind. Not leaving out anybody. And in this, watching your mind, you can rest in this. When you do it at home or when you do it wherever. You can just relax, spontaneously relax. So this is the end of the meditation. These practices are very ancient. They are not modern inventions. The Maitri practice is found in the Yoga Sutras. Those of whom who practice yoga, you will have heard of the Yoga Sutras. There is a sutra that is called Mythri Karuna Mudita Sukha Dukha Punya Visayanam Bhavanatah Chitta Prasadanam. That by practicing Maitri, as we have done now, the mind becomes serene. Prasadana means to become serene. So can I ask you, have you slightly felt this?
Yes.
And can someone give a little feedback? It can also be negative feedback. Not everybody, because there's a lot of people. Can someone give some feedback how it was for them to practice? The first part and the second part, yes.
I felt very comfortable to start with, and as you started, it was so quiet. I felt inside really quiet, silent, and as you carried on, it's just stillness right through to the end. And it was really, I didn't need to breathe. You know, it's just all in one level. Very nice. Thank you.
Good. Anyone else? And you don't have to please me. Yes? Then you understand that the emotions are arising in you and ceasing in you, like waves arising and ceasing in an ocean. This is the traditional example given. And this, what you said about the stillness is described like the ocean when the waves become very still. Nistaranga, this is called in Sanskrit. When the ocean becomes very still, that is what you're talking about. Then the nature of that ocean comes out, which is stillness. Maybe one more? Yes?
I think I definitely got very sedentary first food, so I could recognize that state for myself. And then I couldn't quite understand the underlying state under that.
Okay, so I'll explain that in more detail. Most human beings are actually very intuitive. Intuition is a natural quality of human beings. When you see a person who is, has this sense of dejection, and not just because something happened in the morning, the boss said something what wasn't nice to them, but rather it has become part of their, almost we could say, nature or character. This is what we call an underlying state. And in modern psychology, this perhaps might be put down as a character issue. This is the character of the person. But in the traditional view, we do not hold on to certain characteristics that we might have. We identify them. So if my underlying state is actually like this, even if outside I might be showing or pretending, but my actual state is most of the time when nobody is watching, my state is, this is the underlying state. And within this state, all the other states are still arising. This is the underlying state. And it is very valuable to identify that. What do we lose by identifying the underlying state? And it's not just one, there are several. There can be a layer of, some people, especially, you can't say it is geographical, but in Switzerland, where I come from, because I wanted to say something about the UK, but I shouldn't. In Switzerland, where I come from, people are very in some sense, cold. When I say cold, I mean that they are not so outward going as people are in the UK or in England or in America. And anyone who's been to Switzerland for longer than a day begins to recognize that while they are polite, there is an underlying distance. And this is, the Swiss say it about themselves, so it's nothing, it's not racism, they say it about themselves. And now, of course, I'm saying it in a joking way, that is the underlying state of a whole culture. But what I'm saying is that individually, each of us carries these underlying states, and it's very, very valuable to recognize them. And the point here is not that you have to advertise your states on a forum in the internet. You're doing it for yourself. You don't even have to tell your partner. You're doing it for yourself. So no Facebook posts. You know, I discovered today that my underlying state is, that's not what we're talking about. Then your underlying state is narcissism. If you're posting it with a selfie, you know. So it's very valuable to identify your underlying. Is it a little clearer what I mean by the underlying state? And what happens, you know, of course now you've just been practicing this for a few minutes, but can you know, sort of extrapolate? What do you think happens when you do this on a regular basis? At least a few minutes a day. Keeps the doctor away. What do you think happens? Try to extrapolate.
You realize yourself.
You realize yourself in the sense of, first of all, you understand yourself. Many people go through life like boats on an ocean without a captain, you know, so a wave comes and then boom, and another wave comes and then you end up in Madagascar. Right? So many people really drift through life, and it's amazing how it works. So yes, you begin to understand yourself, and that in some sense is also then realizing yourself on a deeper level. But what I wanted to know was more when you really identify these underlying states in addition to the prevalent ones, and you do this for a while, what do you think happens apart from understanding yourself?
Stillness changes you from inside.
It changes you from inside. Why?
Because you clear those layers, whatever you had, it's just melted away.
Very good. They start melting away. And the scripture says, like ice blocks in the sunlight. Bringing awareness, what we've just done now, bringing awareness to our states melts them like the sun melts ice blocks. And slowly, slowly, but it's practice, we have to practice it. It's not a fast food thing. You can't order this in McDonald's. It's really something that has to be practiced the same way playing the violin has to be practiced. The same way any activity that you want to become a master in has to be practiced. So you have to dedicate a few minutes a day to this. And it is very important also to do the Maitri with it. You know, sending out this wish of may you be happy, because by doing that you also melt any tensions you have, unnecessary tensions you have with people. Those tensions are very often just, they're like, I heard about a film, I never saw the film, but the message seemed to be excellent. Two children are fighting and one of them hits the other with a stick, and the child gets slightly injured on the arm, and then the little boy goes to his parents and says, Mama, and then the mother becomes really angry, goes to the neighbor, and they start fighting, and they have a 2 or 3 hour discussion about education. You don't know how to raise your child. You know, it's like a big conflict because many other emotions come up, and after 10 minutes, the two children suddenly playing again.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is what happens. You're holding on to states. You're holding on to oppositions to people, and perhaps the people are also holding on. But if you send Maitri, you know, just for 2-3 minutes, like we did here, You genuinely say, may you be happy. You also deserve to be happy. There's no person, no being in this universe who does not deserve to be happy. And you say, may you be happy, may you be at ease. It's a very powerful practice. Because first of all, it resolves your tensions, and it also does something to you when you interact with those people the next time. It really does something. You have to try it. I'm sure some of you do this naturally. You know, some people by nature have this, but very few actually. So that's why we call it Mythri Bhavana, to bring about Maitri. You bring it forth in you. So the practice is clear. So now please, I think, Aditya, we can have questions.
Yeah, sure.
So any questions, the same way any states can arise in you, the same way you can ask any questions.